Lot 85 is Norman Lewis's Many Faces of Legend #1, an early oil painting from 1960. Norman Lewis is a New York artist, and he started working in the 1930s and taught through the WPA. And in the abstract post-war period, began making many oil paintings that really pushed the limits of what was accepted, and was one of the first artists to really use black as a color or as a form in his paintings. And this is a great example. This painting was recently exhibited at the Studio Museum in Harlem, an important retrospective of his black paintings. They're very desirable, they're very scarce, and this is a really strong example. A relatively early work from 1960, a large painting, and it shows all the signs of his creating atmosphere and form from very simple colors and shapes. It's the blackness as a subject as well as an abstract form. It's about the flatness of the canvas. Norman Lewis really created a new form of abstraction which had atmosphere as well as form. He used colors and very simplified compositions and really created a depth to abstraction. Although Norman Lewis denied it, the titles are usually the only clues that we have to the ideas behind some of these abstract works. His later work, where there are figurations, his small figures, which are described as the rituals, we have more suggestion. But these black paintings, these early black paintings, are really about abstraction. The title suggests some kind of cultural meaning, but it's really up to the viewer. Lot 101, Romare Bearden's Conjure Woman as Angel, is a photostat print from 1964. Now, this work is an experimental beginning for Romare Bearden. As a mid-career artist in 1964, he helped found a group of artists with Norman Lewis called the Spiral Group, and they decided to really invigorate the art of African Americans to reflect the condition of the United States, the social and political upheaval of the civil rights struggle in 1964. They really wanted to make their work more relevant. So the Spiral Group was where Bearden first suggested doing collage work, and he tried to get the other members interested. And this is what came out of it. He created collages in black and white, photo montage, pasted them up, and first showed them as these photostat prints. Another artist, Reginald Gammon, suggested to him that he do blow-ups to show the size and explore the scale of the work. We know Romare Bearden's collages as colorful, handmade pieces, but this was his first year. It's very important to find something from this first year, and these photostat prints are how he first conceived of the collage work. These photostat works were called projections. They were blow-ups, enlargements of the collages. The collages were quite small and intimate. And this is a series of work he did just in 1964. And he only did a very small, limited edition of them. The edition size, I believe, is 6. This work is signed. It's extremely scarce. There's only one other known impression that we've found, and it's in the Romare Bearden Foundation. These are really early experimental works. They're extremely scarce from the first year he made collage, and they really represent the beginning of all his collage work that he's most famous for. This sale also includes his collage work. The collages are still relatively early and date from about 1970. Lot 165 is a nude torso, a wood mahogany sculpture by Elizabeth Catlett. Elizabeth Catlett is known for her work that represents women. She's a female artist who is really working about the female form, and this sculpture is really a great example. She picks a beautiful piece of wood where the wood grain really accentuates the form, and this is a great example. And she's really known for really expanding how women are represented in American art from her early work when she first arrived in Mexico in 1946. to the sculpture that she's doing today. This work also shows her interest in simplifying the form and really defining the female form in really the simplest terms, but in a very evocative, beautiful way. Elizabeth Catlett was also a very accomplished printmaker. In this sale, we have a very early example of her work. This early lithograph shows her sculptural sensibility and was made before she went to Mexico when she was starting at the Art Students League. We find really her work only in the best private collections and in museum collections around the country, and this work will really show us what the benchmark will be for future sales. It's a great, unique piece by a wonderful artist and really an important part of American art history. Lot 169 is Jacob Lawrence's portfolio, The Legend of John Brown, a suite of 22 color screen prints. This portfolio was made in 1977, but it represents some of the earliest work by Jacob Lawrence. Jacob Lawrence became famous as a very young man in his early 20s for these historical series, and later in life as a printmaker, he recreated them. It shows the whole legend of John Brown. John Brown was famous as the great abolitionist leader who really many thought started the Civil War by attacking Harper's Ferry with a small group of men. But this historical suite shows his whole beginnings, his life story from the early days when he was helping the Underground Railroad to the final battle at Harper's Ferry and his eventual capture and hanging. These screen prints show not only the story of John Brown, but they show the importance of his devout Christian beliefs. He was a militant, but he was also a devout Christian, and he believed that the struggle to free the black man was really the most important struggle, and he devoted his whole life to this struggle. Lawrence really is able to use his simplified forms and colors to show the struggle, the nationalism, the devout religious beliefs of John Brown. And he makes a historical series that is historically important, but is also a major artistic creation. This suite is generally broken. We're very lucky to find a complete set at auction of all 22 prints. Jacob Lawrence was really drawn to the important historical struggles of African Americans, and many of his best works are these historical series: The Legend of John Brown, The Story of Harriet Tubman, the Migration series. These historical series are really his best-known work. And Lot 196 is another great historical series by Jacob Lawrence, The Story of Toussaint Louverture. This lot is a collection of 15 color screen prints that were printed over a period of time at the very end of the artist's career. The series Toussaint Louverture was one of the first major historical series the artist did in his young 20s. And here, towards the end of his life, he's recreating one of his better-known series, showing the life of Toussaint Louverture from his birth to his rise as a general in Haiti, the struggle for freedom there. And again, he shows with great color and precision the struggle for nationalism in this time the Caribbean, but a theme for African Americans. This work is really a great series, but it really shows a culmination of all his skill as an artist at the end of his career. I'm thrilled to be the new director of this department, and we're very excited about this offering. We hope this will become an annual event and will be held every February in honor of African American History Month. These works will be on exhibition here at Swann Galleries, and we really encourage everybody to come and see this work. It's a great exhibition, really showing the whole history of African American art.